Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio on Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5. Now, here's your host, Johnny Radio himself, John Hardin.
Happy hump day, everybody. Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your good buddy, Johnny Radio. Gabe Coons in the house. Follow Gabe at G_Coons71. Follow me at Johnny_Radio. And don't forget the show, Sports 56 WHBQ on the Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and the IG, baby. By the way, we got to say goodbye to a legend. We got to say hello to a new legend down in Alabama, Nate Oates. Man, it's raining threes. Hallelujah, it's raining threes. Oh, my goodness. Did you know that LSU has taken a beating lately by the boys in Bama? It's been pretty bad. I love that tweet from Eli Savoy last night. But we have so much to get into. From hoops, Kyrie is going to return to the court tonight. Ooh, are you excited? By the way, Gabe Kuhn, are you excited about the Memphis Grizzlies playing in Portland? Are you excited about the Brooklyn Nets getting Kyrie and wanting to see what that magical thing looks like in Cleveland?
To be honest with you, I'm way more excited to see Kyrie.
Me too.
And what he looks like with James Harden and Kevin Durant. Although I will be watching the Grizzlies game closely.
Okay, of course. And we're lucky, by the way, because the 6 o'clock game is in Cleveland. So bing, bang, boom, you can watch that whole bad boy. You don't even have to worry about it because it's not till 9 o'clock Memphis plays Portland tonight. But we're going to get that in. I'm going to bring something up about, because of one of the day's about change, some historic things going on. If you did not know, congrats to 46. But I want to look at Kyrie in a different light. I'm pretty quick to smack somebody down. Am I not, Gabe?
When it comes to Kyrie, there are certain things that come out of his mouth that certainly trigger you. But you're not the only one.
But you want to know something? I went back and rewatched that interview with him. I went back and looked at his past life. The dude is a philanthropist. Let's be real. But just because you're a philanthropist and you do good for others, can you also be a selfish individual? And the selfishness of Kyrie is what rubbed me the wrong way. The fact that he was so kind and giving, and what he did with the George Floyd family, the WNBA gave him like $5 million. All these things Kyrie's done. But he's shown me he wasn't professional and courteous to his coach and his teammates. And I think you can also be a philanthropist and a selfish individual. And I started thinking about it. Dude, just because you're on one side of the coin on one situation doesn't mean you can't be on the other side of the coin. When you're on the side of right and just, doesn't mean when you go into the workplace that because you're having a bad day, you just don't have to show up when you're getting paid. This is a big old situation. We'll talk about it later. I got some thoughts on it. I think it's totally different when you look at Kyrie. And that's the thing about sports today. We have room for everybody. Not everybody has to be singularly focused like Michael Jordan or has to be as perfect as like LeBron James seems to come off. We can have different people, different strokes for different folks. And it makes me think of Colin Kaepernick and the National Football League. All this stuff that they didn't want to have that in the league. I don't know. Things are changing. We'll talk about it. What do you think? 67129. Now, holy cow. Baseball is on the agenda. I love me some baseball. You know I love me some baseball, but baseball's got a lot of work to do in the offseason on its culture. I think some of the new hires are going to help, but I've been raving about Steve Cohen. I like Sandy Alderson, but looking at the Jared Porter thing a little bit closer and not just making jokes, not just trying to educate the old men out there on what not to put on your thing. It just has to do with the hiring culture, things like that. Me and Gabe are going to get into it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then we're going to talk some football. Buffalo and Kansas City. What are you more worried about, Patrick Mahomes' toe or the supposed concussion? I'm starting to get more. Is that a turf toe issue? I've seen it's a foot. I've seen it's turf toe. Nobody really knows. Gabe, before, let's say he had the concussion, did you ever think to yourself that this toe injury could be something that can cause them maybe in the next round against, Buffalo? Because believe it or not, I did. Because, dude, if you ever had turf toe, do you know how painful that is?
Oh, it's debilitating. But I'll say this: he seems like he had his ankle issues in 2019. Like he seems to be okay when he has a lower body injury. He still has the big arm. He still is able to escape.
He does not have to run to beat you.
But it could be concerning going into play Buffalo. I'm cool with Patrick Mahomes, them not necessarily trying to call this a concussion just because I saw the hit. It didn't look all that violent. And I see where Andy Reid is really, really trying to push it out that he will probably be playing come Sunday. But I saw the line move today, so I can see where a lot of people's minds are right now. And I think even without the injury, it probably would have moved into the Bills' favor. It went from 3.5, minus 3.5. The Chiefs were favored to minus 2.5. The Bills actually. It seems like the money's coming in on them.
Yeah, it's definitely seems like it's coming in on them. I don't blame them. I'm excited. Russell Copeland at 2 o'clock. We're going to talk a lot of football. Buffalo, Kansas City. We'll talk about the toe, the concussion. We'll talk about Allen Mahomes. We'll also 67129 Tampa Bay, Green Bay. You got Tom and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, 14th Conference Championship. Whoa. Dude, don't play. They call him the GOAT. I mean, not Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady, 14th Conference Championship. He's the GOAT. But Aaron Rodgers, people have said this for years, physically more gifted than Tom Brady. If we give the physical edge to Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady's the GOAT, at 43, does Tom Brady have the edge mentally? I look at that defense of Green Bay. I think he'll have an easier time picking them apart than Tampa Bay. I think Todd Bowles is a really good defensive coordinator. Matt LaFleur, Todd Bowles, going to be an interesting matchup. We'll talk about that stuff and more. Plus, guess what we got? Deion Sanders got his boombox? Why do I want to call it a beatbox?
Did he get it back? His boombox? His priceless
Bro,
boombox?
I can't wait to tell you this. Like, he loves the people of Jackson. He loves Jackson State. And he says more than anything, and I'll talk about it in Hardwood, he loves the hood, and the hood loves him. It was awesome because you know what? It was returned with a note basically saying, my bad, fam. Make sure you just get Jackson State winning back. I'll read you the quotes. It's hilarious. It's awesome. Sad news. Don Sutton, rest in peace. When you look back on his career, holy cow. Dude pitched before I was born and until I was like 11 years old. You know what I mean? And by the way, he pitched 23 seasons. I mean, he's only behind Cy Young and Nolan Ryan for years of 30 starts. And Gabe Kuhn, this is the one thing that hit me the most. Did you know in his entire career, he never missed more than one turn in the rotation? Dude, 23 seasons, he never missed more than one turn in the rotation.
The times have changed.
The times, they definitely have changed. We'll talk about Don Sutton. We'll talk about so many things. We got a lot of stuff to get to today. I'm fired up. I'm also fired up because guess what? Central Barbecue. It's simply the best. Better than all the rest. That makes me think of our show, Schitt's Creek. I love that show. Myra, if they could get down here, don't you think they'd love some Central Barbecue? Like, they complain about that cafe. If you haven't watched the show, I don't know where you've been, but I'll tell you one thing. Everybody can agree on this. You go to Central Barbecue, they have 4 locations, downtown, Central, Summer, and the new one on Poplar. Smoke is their sauce. But when you go in there, they treat you well. They get the food out. It's fresh. It's hot. It's delicious. It is fairly priced. And by the way, the key here is you go in there, you leave, and you're like, dude, that was one of the best meals I will have this year, period. But then you go back, and you go back, and you go back, and then you eat there, and you have a whole lot of good meals every week. Central Barbecue, it's simply the best. Whether you want some pulled shoulder, ribs, turkey, pulled chicken, turnip greens, mac and cheese, barbecue beans. Don't forget the banana pudding. They got you covered. Central Barbecue, it's simply the best. I'm in the box.
So I was looking today, I think the top story today out of the NFL, besides the injury report for the Chiefs, when you talk about Patrick Mahomes, are the two very, very substantial retirements we had today. Two quarterbacks, one being Drew Brees, not surprising, no doubt future Hall of Famer. Possibly first ballot. I think that's a very, very possible thing for him. But I want to focus on the other guy that retired, Phillip Rivers. And again, no surprise for him either. But he is a guy who's fifth all-time in pass completions, pass TDs, and pass yards. Fifth all-time in all of those categories. Obviously, he missed out on the Super Bowl, did not ever win one. But even without it, do you think that Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer?
Let me tell you a little secret. I'm going to mess y'all's head up so bad that y'all are going to know if the Hall of Fame needs to change the way they grade people or what. Because I'm about to give you some numbers that are going to hurt your head. They hurt my head. First and foremost, I'm going to answer your question. Is he a Hall of Famer? Heck yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. 240 consecutive starts. Second to only Brett Favre. And do y'all remember 13 years ago, 6 days after he tore his ACL, he went and played in the NFC Championship game and tried to gut it out? That's why I like Phillip Rivers. He's a country boy. He's got a whole football team of kids. He talks more trash than anybody. But do you know what he does? He shows up to work. What do I say is the most important thing about being a pro? Availability. He's always available. He always came out there. And again, most passing touchdowns in history, the only people ahead of him, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre. Phillip Rivers with 421. He didn't play in the Super Bowl, but you know who else didn't? He played in it, but didn't win it. Dan Marino. And I want you to think about some of these numbers. So Dan Marino has 2,000 yards fewer than Phillip Rivers. He also has fewer touchdowns. Phillip Rivers has one more than Dan Marino. Passer rating, believe it or not, it's better than Dan Marino's. It sits right between Peyton Manning, and this was where my head got messed up, and this is why we have to look at the Hall of Fame. Or maybe we have to look at QBR and passer rating and things like this and how we measure quarterbacks, because Matt Ryan is right behind him. What? Matt Ryan has the MVP. Matt Ryan's played in a Super Bowl. Dude, Matt Ryan is going to be a Hall of Famer? Is this going to happen? He's probably going to pass Phillip Rivers in the numbers if you look at his numbers. Basically, what I'm getting at is we are in the golden age of quarterbacks. I don't know what happened when Dan Marino came in and started firing that thing all over the place, and then Brett Favre and all these guys, but Stan Humphrey ain't taking people to Super Bowls. You know, Phillip Rivers can't even get to a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers has only won one. Drew Brees has only won one. Peyton Manning, the Sheriff, only got him two, and his defense won him one. We're in a golden age of quarterbacks. And you know who the top four quarterbacks in quarterback rating are? All four of them are currently playing. Holy cow. Pat Mahomes, number 1. Deshaun Watson, number 2. Aaron Rodgers, number 3. And Russell Wilson, number 4. Guess what? I can go even farther. I want to go to the top 8. The top 8 are still playing as well. Think about what I said. Dan Marino is 12th. So we have to look at quarterbacks a little bit different. We have to use our eye test. We have to use common sense. We also have to see who they were as a football player over the course of their career. And over the course of Phillip Rivers' career, he showed up to work. He played. He talked smack. And he started 240 some odd games. And you know how many people won a Super Bowl in San Diego? Or how many Chargers have won a Super Bowl? 0. Fouts doesn't have one. Natron Means doesn't have one. Junior Seau doesn't have one. Are you telling me these guys weren't ballers? Come on, man. Phillip Rivers and the question of Hall of Fame, in my opinion, is a stupid one. Dan Marino's in. People are in that have not won a Super Bowl. But then I have to take one thing a little bit farther. Do you want to talk about the golden age of quarterbacks and why we got to look at how we measure them? Because right now, Matt Ryan's numbers have him almost first ballot Hall of Famer. Think about what I just said. It also bodes very well for a Matthew Stafford. But think about this. Do you know the quarterback rating system right now? That David Garrard and Jason Campbell have a higher QBR than Troy Aikman. Ryan Fitzpatrick is better than Roger Staubach and Troy Aikman and all of them. What I'm saying is we got to look at the way we measure people. It's not all about numbers, but you have to use your numbers and your eyes and just see who the person is. Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer. We'll miss you, pimp.
Also worth mentioning, Phillip Rivers has won 134 games. That's good for 8th all-time on the quarterback wins list. So good for him. But I do agree with you. We talked about this yesterday, too. We talked about top 10 quarterbacks and how it's hard to measure when you talk about historical significance and stats because quarterbacks weren't racking up passing yards and statistics like they were until 2000 or so.
Yeah,
so
Tittle,
it's
Unitas.
It's very weird to try to compare old Hall of Famers to new Hall of Famers, and a lot of those stats you mentioned definitely show that. Now moving on to baseball, and I want to put this story to damn rest. Because I thought the Jared Porter story was very disgusting. But yesterday, Sandy Alderson, the Mets president of baseball ops, had to speak to the media. And the quote he gave on the hiring process of Jared Porter, of course, we mentioned this yesterday, Jared Porter sent illicit pics to and unwarranted texts to a female reporter, and he has since been fired. But what Sandy Alderson said was that he doesn't think there's a fundamental flaw in the hiring process and that this situation was just an unfortunate circumstance. Do you think there was an issue in the hiring process? And is Alderson's sort of assertion about the hiring process not being fundamentally flawed correct?
I'm going to tell you something. This is very difficult. And it's very, very touchy because Steve Cohen came in, bought the Mets. He made a huge splash. He bought in a baseball guy like Sandy Alderson. But Sandy brings in Jared Porter. And I can quote him. They asked him a question. He said, in all of the references were glowing. A bright reporter said, well, did you get a reference or ask anybody about Jared Porter that was female? And Sandy was like, no, I didn't. Maybe that should change. MLB is still, look, baseball is the good old boys club. I was part of it when I was growing up. It's hard to grow out of certain behaviors. But you know what? The hiring of Bianca Smith, the hiring of Kim Ng down in Miami. There's so many things that are positive, but think about all the female reporters. And Gabe, I don't know if you've known this, when you were even, like, when it was just male reporters, like sometimes dude just wanted to come out of the locker room and just be buck naked to make you feel small, uncomfortable, very like, dude, I don't know if I really want to ask you any questions because they didn't want to answer any questions. Couldn't imagine what it would be like to be a female. And hey, if I do answer some questions, you want to go have a drink with me or something like that? I can't imagine how difficult it is to be a female in those roles. So what I'm trying to say is baseball, for all the stuff that's going on positive for baseball, they have a huge mess they need to clean up. Jeff Passan, Mina Kimes, if you go and read it, I mean, this is the Cubs organization, the Red Sox organization, now to the Mets organization. When somebody can go through the cracks, and this is old stuff, and he definitely didn't do this just to one woman, let's be real. Come on, man, we have some serious problems. Plus, there was a very, very extensive article in The Athletic that they talked to, of course, a couple female reporters that cover baseball and have for years. They didn't want to name their names, but they talked about some of their stories, and they're absolutely disgusting. And as a father, as a grandfather, as also somebody who respects just human beings, baseball has to look at how they operate their day-to-day operations. It cannot be a multi-billion-dollar good old boys club, period.
And you said it. I'm not in any way trying to trash Sandy Alderson. I think he's good at his job. I think
it's the culture that has to change, and he's been a part of it.
Yeah, I think that he and Steve Cohen did the right thing in getting rid of Jared Porter as soon as they heard about this. So I don't want to trash on him, but it's tough to say there's no fundamental flaw, and then in the same vein say that you didn't talk to a single woman about Jared Porter. I think that's an issue. I think you need to look into yourself on how these guys treat women, how they treat every single person within a clubhouse, within a organization, and you need to start there. But not talking to women, not consulting anybody that is a female about Jared Porter is a problem.
And it was Hannah Kaiser who asked the question to Sandy, did you ask any women for references for Mr. Porter? And, of course, he said no. And, again, Doug Glanville, if you watch the MLB Network, I just suggest to anybody who cares about baseball, I got to move on to the next topic. Go listen to what Doug Glanville had to say about this. It was really, really powerful.
More baseball, though, for this next question. Blue Jays made a splash yesterday with a signing. They signed George Springer, 6 years, $150 million. They're also thinking about signing another Astros outfielder, Michael Brantley. I'm not sure if that's done yet, but it's certainly in the works. Blue Jays being one of the youngest teams in baseball. Their average age is 27 years old. Obviously, Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Kevin Biggio sort of leading them there. And they lost last year in the AL Wildcard Series. How much do you like this signing, and how much better do you think this makes the Blue Jays?
I'll tell you one thing. If they can get some pitching, if they can figure out where they're going to play next year, Blue Jays are going to be starting getting exciting. You got a great center fielder, a guy who's played. He's only 30 years old. This isn't taking him into his 40s, okay? This is a team-friendly deal, believe it or not. $150 million. You're like, oh, my gosh. It takes him to 36. He'll be your leadoff hitter. You'll have Kevin Biggio behind him, Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero Jr. I like this. You bring a winner around a bunch of young studs who also, by the way, a lot of these guys have dads who were studs. I think this is smart by the Blue Jays. I think they're retooling, and then next year they go out there and they try to get a lineup, a pitching team, and they actually try to go win. The one team that is winning the offseason, San Diego Padres. What they've done to their baseball bullpen is absolutely crazy. I'll tell you about it on the other side. We'll also talk Don Sutton. We have some basketball news, and it's NFL. It's a really wacky, wild Wednesday on Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight, exclusively FedEx. And we put them in nice packaging. We don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together, so the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Action247.com is your Tennessee sportsbook for same-day pay. Action247.com. Local, legal. A sportsbook by Tennesseans for Tennesseans. Win a little or win a lot. Action247 has same-day pay. The other guys make you wait for your winnings. No more waiting with Action247 same-day pay. Visit us online at Action247.com. Local, legal. Action247. You got action.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-889-9789.
First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today, 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
They used to tell me, boy, you ain't going nowhere. With your cheap guitar and your big long hair. You gotta realize what your responsibility is. Reality.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your good friend Johnny Radio, and we got a busy show. Russell Copeland's going to talk football with us at 2 o'clock. We got to talk about who I think might be the secret weapon for Tampa Bay. And no, I am not talking about Tom Brady or Antonio Brown, who has a knee issue, by the way, people. We got to talk about this as well. Is Antonio Brown going to, I think he's going to go. But how good is he going to be? We're going to get 100% Mike Evans. I'm sure we will. They got so many weapons. I ain't worried about that. But I think it's going to be Leonard Fournette, Gabe Kuhn. Can you think? Can you see? Can you understand why I think that in Lambeau Field, behind that offensive line, trying to keep the beasts that are Green Bay's somewhat weak, but somehow playing very good playoff defense, keep them at bay. Tom Brady's getting the ball quickly out of his hands. But if that offensive line can get a push and they start running the ball downhill with Fournette, he could be the most important person in the Tampa Bay-Green Bay matchup where all we're looking at is Aaron Rodgers and, of course, Tom Brady. Buffalo and Kansas City, of course, I think it has to do with one man, Patrick Mahomes. He's gonna get through this concussion protocol thing he's going through. The dude ran out the tunnel. He only missed one question yesterday. That was huge news. He only missed one question yesterday. Well, how many questions did they ask? They didn't tell you that. Was it 2? Was it 20? What was it? He only missed one. Okay, cool with me. But you know what? It's all about Patrick Mahomes. But for me, how healthy is his toe? And then secondly, Kansas City. It's tired. The Honey Badger. Let's be real. He's been sick. He comes up big in big games. Josh Allen, Cole Beasley, Diggs. You better be careful because the Honey Badger, as many times as y'all throw, and the fact you have no running game, and you're going to KC, this will be very interesting. It's all about them bragging rights. I can't wait to see it. I'm fired up. But I want to ask one more question to 67129 before I change subjects and go back to baseball for a minute. Did Drew Brees make everybody start believing that this Tampa Bay defense was super elite? Yes, I love Devin White. I like Ndamukong Suh. I love their secondary. Lil Whitfield ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you also a secret. I watched them against Taylor Heinicke get torched. Then they go and they beat Drew Brees. They got 3 interceptions and then a fumble recover. So you get 4 turnovers. Drew Brees, did he make the Tampa Bay defense look great? Or is the Tampa Bay defense really that much better than the Green Bay defense? I'm really not so sure. And I'll tell you one reason why. Do you know how many people out there have been absolutely killing Green Bay for their drafting? Well, I'll tell you one thing. I have been. I sit there and I went absolutely banana sandwiches on their draft class. I said, what you did with Jordan Love, the fact that the only first-round receiver Aaron Rodgers has ever thrown to is dead gun Tavon Austin, this is BS. But let me tell you a little secret. I went back and looked at something because I was like, man, these dudes are awesome. Rashawn Gary, guess what? NFL Draft 2019, first pick. You know who else was after that? Offensive lineman, Ellington Jenkins. You also safety, Darnell Savage. So the top 3 picks in 2019, all 3 key contributors. All 3 might be the difference in the fact that you're hosting at Lambeau instead of going on the road to San Francisco the last time he played in the conference championship game. Didn't turn out very well for Aaron Rodgers. But you know what? The 2019 general manager, man, Mr. Brian Gutekunst or whatever, I don't know how to say it. All I know is for a guy that I've killed and never really called by name because of the Jordan Love situation, for basically getting another running back when you have Aaron Jones, just very questionable. In 2019, if you look at that draft, could it actually be the reason they're playing a home game in Lambeau Field? I kind of say maybe yes. Am I going a little bit too far? Because that's 1, 2, 3. All 3 guys, the first 3 picks, 2019, all not just starting, all are dominating. In fact, all I looked it up are top 12 of their position by Pro Football Focus.
I'll say this. In 2018 and 2019, they didn't miss on their early picks. You got Jair Alexander in 2018 as your first pick. He's become probably a top 10 corner in the league. Rashawn Gary, Darnell Savage, Ellington Jenkins, you just mentioned. They are fantastic, good contributors, starters. So, I look at this year's draft, what they did in 2020. It wasn't great, but they've been okay the past 2 years. They have early in the draft.
This past year, I don't know what the hell
the problem is with them. The reason we go after them is because they never get weapons for Aaron Rodgers.
Nope.
And you feel like that offense has so much more they could unlock if they did, and they just don't. So that's why people get on them. But we have to see what they've done on the defensive side of the ball. Drafting has been pretty good here in the past couple of years.
All right, now, since you brought this up, I am switching subjects. Todd Bowles, Matt LaFleur, who do you trust more this week? After seeing what Todd Bowles did to New Orleans and Drew Brees, I am just like, dude, the way Todd Bowles also controlled Aaron Rodgers. By the way, we don't talk about Ndamukong Suh. Aaron Rodgers and Ndamukong Suh have a heck of a past. You know Ndamukong Suh, remember when he stepped on Rodgers' ankle? Aaron Rodgers tried to ask for him to, after the game when they got beat up, to, hey, let's have maybe a glass of red and squash things. And Ndamukong Suh's like, the only thing I want is to see you picking yourself up off the ground. Dude, Ndamukong Suh's also another beast. Is Todd Bowles in that Tampa Bay defense, is that going to be the reason that they go back home and host the Super Bowl? Or is Aaron Rodgers finally got what he wants? He's playing in Green Bay. No, there's not going to be 85,000 people, but he's at home. It's cold. And I don't know if there's anybody better at throwing the football in the elements than Aaron Rodgers, period. The ball just comes out of his hand like a missile.
Is the key of the game not what the Packers are going to be able to do through the air? Because I think last week when you look at what the Bucs did to Michael Thomas and what they were able to do in shutting down Drew Brees has to do with the style of but it has to do with the style of throwing the ball that the Saints have done. Right? Carlton Davis is the number 1 corner for the Bucs. If you don't think Devontae Adams can beat him all day consistently, I don't know what football you're watching. So I think it's the stylistic change is going to favor that Packers offense. And Todd Bowles has a lot more that he's going to have to get done this week. He has a lot more game planning that he has to do than he did last week, because the Saints are limited. They're limited.
That's what I was getting ready to say. It's one thing to rush 4 and drop 7 people and have Drew Brees try to pick out, and Devin White's cutting in front of things, and Levante Davis is doing that, and you got Shaq Barrett coming off the edge. You have Ndamukong Suh, Will Golston, JPP, what's up, man? Let's firework this thing up. He's coming off the edge. They ain't playing. That front 4 was putting pressure. Todd Bowles was aggressive with the front 4 because Ndamukong Suh was just a beast. Everybody on that front 4 was just possessed. And Devin White, one of the fastest linebackers in the world, is dropping back in coverage, picking things off like it's going out of style. Antoine Winfield played great at strong safety. He's in there mixing things up. You don't get to do that against Aaron Rodgers, because It's not floating through the air and accurate like Drew Brees. That thing is buzzing. I mean, it is buzzing by you, and Devontae Adams is getting open.
The difference is you're going to make the Saints uncomfortable if you play man coverage. You are. Just because they pick apart zone better than anyone in the league. And Michael Thomas is not fast. He's a possession wide receiver, and he's not very good at beating man coverage. This week, Devontae Adams is fantastic at it. I think him and Stephon Diggs have shown that consistently. So I just don't see the Bucs defense being able to put out the same type of performance that they did last week, because I don't think the Packers are as limited offensively.
Now, do you think there's any weight or any concern because of that 1 week where everybody got to see Tom Brady, and the biggest win for the Tampa Bay Bucs was when they beat Green Bay 38-10, because they lost to everybody else in the playoffs before they got to the playoffs. But they did beat the brakes off of Aaron Rodgers 38-10. But it seems like after that, Green Bay got going. And then after that, Tampa Bay's been getting going. I don't know, man. Do you trust Tom Brady's brain and those weapons? Or do you trust Aaron Rodgers against that Tampa Bay defense? It is a hard call. This game right here, for me, is the hardest one to call. But I'll tell you what, I think everybody has to agree with me. If Tampa Bay loses this game and it's close, Tom Brady left New England, went down to Tampa Bay, took a team that wasn't in the playoffs and went to the NFC Championship, 14th championship. Dude's the GOAT. It will be a successful season. If Aaron Rodgers loses at home to Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers falls a peg in people's eyes. And that is sad, but it will be true, because people will be like, dude, Tom Brady hasn't looked like Aaron Rodgers all year long. Aaron Rodgers is the MVP. But Tom Brady just goes and beats you in the playoffs.
I'll ask this. Does Aaron Rodgers fall a peg, or do we see Tom Brady, if he wins, as cemented in that GOAT spot? Just absolutely, positively cemented. I don't know if we're going to
trash
Aaron
Rodgers will fall.
Aaron Rodgers for losing to Tom Brady.
I think at home,
especially when you look at the teams. You look at the teams side by side, talent-wise, I'm sorry, you have to give it up for the Bucs.
Where's it at?
It's in Lambeau.
Who's the MVP?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams. He's got weapons. They're good enough.
Bucs have more.
The Bucs have more weapons, but they also have a 43-year-old quarterback who is past his prime.
Aaron Rodgers is 37.
He's in his prime. Like, he's peak quarterback. Let's be real. Quarterbacking.
How many people do you know have their prime at the age of 37, though?
Like, dude, a lot of good quarterbacks now are playing well into their 30s, and some of their best football into their 30s. It is weird. Now, I know that Aaron Rodgers, this dude has never thrown 20 interceptions in a season. In fact, I don't think he's ever thrown more than 16 in a season. He's sick. He is one of the greatest ever. He's also, great, spokesman for whatever that dead gum thing is, where he's always, doing the things with Patrick Mahomes. He's funny. He's very cool. He's calm. He's collective. But, Peyton Manning is not Tom Brady because Tom Brady won. Aaron Rodgers has a chance, if he beats Brady, for people to say, you know what, Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback of his era, period. Tom Brady, he'll put that to rest, and then people will start talking about Aaron Rodgers along with Drew Brees, Dan Marino. Yes, he's got one, but you're the greatest quarterback of your era with only one chip. He ain't Phillip Rivers, who never played in the Super Bowl. But this is important for Aaron to get this. I think most of the pressure is on him. I just don't think Aaron Rodgers feels pressure. 48 touchdowns this year. 48 touchdowns. Dude's sick.
I think that's a casual way of looking at it, though, the QB debate. About winning, about Super Bowls, about everything.
Football is all about winning. Winning is the ultimate, it's the kicker, it's the secret sauce. Like when you're at Central Barbecue, it's the dead gum. How smoke is their sauce. You throw that barbecue sauce on there, it's the sauce. Like you might have the meat, but you got to have the trophies and the hardware. Like listen to our conversation about Phillip Rivers. 240 consecutive games, second only to Brett Favre. 5th in touchdown passes. His QBR's way up there. Just right behind Peyton Manning. But yet we were asking, is he a Hall of Famer? Heck yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. But Aaron Rodgers in one championship doesn't really elevate him in the Green Bay eyes past Brett Favre. And that's what I'm kind of talking about, knocking him down the peg. Because personally, I love Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback. But you know what? People's perception, at least Brett got to 2. He only won 1, but he got to 2. And by the way, the Minnesota Vikings, he took them far all the way to New Orleans. So if he wants to be the greatest quarterback in Green Bay and the greatest quarterback in his era, Aaron has to play this year in the Super Bowl. Very simple as that. Now, I got to mention one other thing. And I have to mention this because it's just kind of crazy. Don Sutton, because we're talking about Tom Brady. I mentioned him a little bit earlier, but I was looking at his numbers, and I had to come back since somebody texted me. I said he had never missed, more than 1 start in a season. I was, corrected, and I looked it up. Don Sutton made 756 MLB starts. And sorry, John, but never, ever missed. I looked it up. Never missed a turn in the rotation. 756 starts consecutive. Never missed a turn in his rotation. Not only that, he also led his league in walks, hits per inning, the whip, 4 times. Do you know other guys that have done that? Sandy Koufax, Pedro Martinez, Clayton Kershaw, Greg Maddux, Max Scherzer, Justin Vincent. All you have to do is say, Sutton. Wow. Don Sutton, what a career. From the days of the Dodgers all the way to where he was calling games for the Braves. Baseball fans, it will be a lot different. We got to turn our attention a little bit to UT. We got to talk about the betting favorites. Gabe. Right now, Billy Napier is leading the gig in Vegas, only plus 300. We'll talk about Tom Herman, Kevin Steele, Hugh Freeze, all that good stuff and more, as we got to talk a little Vols. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Catch all the NFL playoff action all the way through to the Super Bowl. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1, and 98.5.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper. 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase. And 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
A good friend of mine told me about this awesome place for lunch.
Oh, yeah? What's the name?
Neil's Grill and Bar, where the fat man rocks. Everybody knows Neil.
Where's it located?
It's located in Yorkshire Square off of Quince.
And what's it like?
The best lunch place in Memphis. You know, like real mashed potatoes and gravy. Everything is made from scratch. Monday through Friday, daily lunch specials like Monday baked chicken, Tuesday chicken fried steak, yum, fried chicken livers every Wednesday, Friday Salisbury steak, barbecue chicken, or if you just want a vegetable plate, the best veggies in town.
What about the lunch price?
Meat and 2 veggies, $7.95. Meat and 3 veggies, $9.99. And veggie plate, $8.95. Big fat boy portions, man.
Man, you're making me hungry.
Come hear the best live local music at Neil's. Mondays karaoke, Tuesdays Debbie Jameson, Wednesdays Elmo and the Shades, Thursdays Eddie Smith, and the best Memphis music all weekend at Neil's Bar and Grill.
Where the fat man rocks.
Upgrade your commute at Acura of Memphis. Seize the thrill and test drive one of our award-winning models, each packed with cutting-edge technology, luxurious amenities, and a driving experience that's sure to awaken your inner self. Driving shouldn't be a chore, it should be an adventure. Advance your drive today. Shop our aggressive lease and finance options now. Luxury is waiting at Acura of Memphis, or shop online 24/7. Visit AcuraofMemphis.com.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Yo, welcome back in a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your good buddy Johnny Radio. Gabe Coons in the house. We're chilling out in the Family Leisure studio where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Check them out. They got hundreds of spas. They got play gyms. Everything's in stock. Go and check them out. Family and fun. Where does it come together? Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Now, me and Gabe got a lot of stuff to talk about. Kyrie's coming back. Hoo-wee! Gabe Coon. Also, something weird. Doug Marrone, he is going to Alabama. He was a head coach in the National Football League. He's going to be an offensive line coach. Found this very interesting. Do you know who tried to fight Nick Saban?
Who?
Zach Thomas and Dante Culpepper. You think I'm joking? Check it out. Beautiful article that was written up that I read a little bit earlier.
Looks like Saban's attacking the AFC South.
Yes, he is.
Got Bill O'Brien as his OC. Now he's got Doug Marrone as his O-line coach. And that just goes to show. Also, with Doug Marrone coming off a head coaching job in the NFL to an O-line coaching job, does that not show you how powerful Nick Saban is? I don't think there's any other coach in college football that could get a former or a newly, free head coach from the NFL to come take a assistant job that's not a coordinator position.
Also think something's changing. Perception of college coaching jobs and what you can do. O'Brien, Doug Marrone, they feel like they can't get back probably to head coaching of an NFL team. But if you go to Saban's, let's go to coaching rehab.
Saban's rehab facility.
He will get you a job. Look at Lane Kiffin over at Ole Miss. Look around the country. We don't want to talk about Jeremy Pruitt. Didn't end up very well. But, dude, Kirby Smart, Georgia. There's tons and tons of coaches. No, they don't beat Nick, but I will say it is a change, and I brought this up because Nick Saban did not work out in Miami. There's a story out that it's weird that you see all these NFL coaches moving to go under Nick Saban, whose Nick Saban shtick, they said, did not work in Miami at all. They said that Dante Culpepper literally tried to fight him. They said he lost the team when he questioned Zach Thomas's toughness. And he said that's when they lost the team. And they said then Zach Thomas wanted to fight him. And Nick Saban had to show up with security because he didn't want to get beat up.
Let's be real, though. His Dolphins stay was just a full disaster from day one. He also made a guy cry.
He did. He did make a guy cry. Nick Saban, hey, the NFL thing didn't work, but look what he is. He's the legend of college coaching. Nick Saban is the greatest of the great. He's past the bear. When you think of college coaches, in fact, he is held in higher regards than Bill Belichick. Now you'll say to this, well, that could be because of Tom Brady, or it could be because of Deflategate, or Spygate, or all the issues that have happened, or Josh McDaniels when he was a head coach going also and filming teams when they were in London. There's a lot of things that have happened under the Bill Belichick tree. Just look at also Bill O'Brien. Anyway, don't get me started. Talk about the Lions, Matt Patricia. It hasn't quite worked out. But Nick Saban, he didn't work out in the NFL. But he has worked out. His coaching tree, is it not successful outside of Tennessee and Jeremy Pruitt?
I mean, but the reason Jeremy Pruitt got that job is because he worked under Saban.
McDonald's. And that's why he got the job.
Right. So, what are we measuring success by? By wins and losses, or are we measuring it by how much money his assistants have gotten?
Money.
That's what I'm measuring it by.
That's what I'm measuring it by. And by the way, you go and work for Nick, and yes, it looks like it's like, hey, I'm just going to take this horrible job. I'm going to be the offensive line coach for Alabama. Well, if you coach the number one offensive line in college football, and then all these guys go to the NFL, well, you'll have an in with these guys. But you know what else you'll do? You'll elevate yourself maybe to another offensive coordinator at a different school or the head coaching position because you worked with Saban.
But you just don't. I just have to
Dude,
stress that
Sark,
you don't.
do you remember how
you
Sark
don't
was
but-
you couldn't even touch Steve Sarkisian,
No.
and now he's the head coach of Texas.
Yeah.
Dude,
a team
he was,
that probably has some of the biggest influx of money in college football.
dude. If you can rehab Steve Sarkisian, Lane Kiffin, and
But-
do all the things he's done, you're a magician.
I can't stress how crazy it is that you have a former NFL head coach decide to join you to be an O-line, like a lower level assistant compared to a coordinator. You see these guys come from the NFL and end up in coordinator positions like Bill O'Brien has, but you just do not see very often a guy take a lower level position,
College
a D-backs coach, an O-line coach. You don't see that happen, and Saban just gets it done.
He doesn't just get it done. He is the man. And by the way, he might be the greatest magician in the world. He could be Harry Houdini, David Copperfield. Was it David Blaine? Because he can make a coach who has just had the worst PR disaster in the world. Give him 3 years, he can get you the best, most expensive job in the country. He is Nick Saban, the most amazing illusionist ever. Plus, he does great with Alabama and coaching football. Now, tonight, we got Grizzlies. Yep. Grizzlies. Out on the left coast playing Portland. Can't wait to see that. But the big one for me is Kyrie, James Harden, and, of course, Kevin Durant. That's right. Brooklyn. The Nets are playing in Cleveland. Cleveland is not very good. But how good is this Kyrie Irving return going to be? You know, I keep thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, and I've done nothing but crucify it and him. One reason. You can be philanthropic and still be a bad guy. You can do charitable things and still be a jerk at work. Being a professional and being a nice person, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I can come on the radio and talk to y'all, but not everything in my life is perfect. I do good things. I can give people's advice. Sometimes I'm not good at taking my own advice. So while Kyrie is a deep person and he gives a lot of love, and he can be seen on the right side of history or the right side of a just cause, there's always two sides of that coin. The one other part about this is he's also looked at as a bad professional. He hasn't been fair to his teammates, Steve Nash, or basically everybody in Brooklyn that paid him so much money. But again, I will say this. All players are not Michael Jordan, who wouldn't talk to Anthony Anderson for 3 days after a Domino's game. Because Michael Jordan just wants to beat you. Kyrie went out there and mentioned all the stuff going on in the world, all the stuff going on with his family. I think he really needed to step away. You can sit there and say he was at his sister's party. Dude, nobody can just sit around and cry for 7 days. You are going to have moments of happiness, even in depression. I'm just saying, I'm going to sit back and watch this. And I'm not going to judge Kyrie. I'm not saying that he should have done what Maya Moore did and step away from the game, because Maya Moore said there was too much going on in the world. COVID-19, social injustice. I need to step away. And she stepped away from the game. I was saying that Kyrie needed to do the same thing because he's not being fair to his team. Well, now that he's back, can this thing elevate itself to another level? And can he take his personal self, who believes, like he tweeted out, kings raise kings, wishing his father happy birthday. If you want to be a king of Brooklyn, go out there, help James Harden get that first chip, help Kevin Durant come back and get a chip, help the Nets, a team that you grew up loving, be that, organization that you dreamed about. Make Mr. Marks look pretty good. Do all these things. And give Steve Nash a chance. By the way, talk to the media. But I will say, with his head down, I didn't like it at first. But I thought to myself about this. You know what? I think he's being honest and thoughtful. So tonight I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to see the either the world, the flat world spins, or some of the best basketball we've ever seen as Brooklyn and Cleveland play tonight. Coming up next, Russell Copeland, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis, and I know it's been around for 115 years. You know, I'm talking about Dinstall's, and it's time to stock up heavy on Cashew Crunch, Heavenly Crunch, Turtlettes, all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. So easy to get. The sweetest thing in Memphis, all you have to do is head to Laurelwood or head to Germantown and Poplar right across from the hospital, or go where they make the candies. That's on Pleasant View. There's nothing that says Memphis better than Cashew Crunch with that little tinge of coconut, or the Turtlettes. Let's face it, there's nothing better than Dinstall's chocolate. That's the mainstay of all candies, isn't it? Milk chocolate, although their dark chocolate is pretty darn good. And if you get the peppermint with the dark chocolate and put it in the freezer, you're going to love it. So many ways to love Dinstall's. Stock up heavy on all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. 115 years of making Memphis oh so sweet.
Hey guys, when I look in the mirror and see too much gray hair, I go to Master Design Salon and get a gray reduction. A quick, easy, and affordable service that makes me look less tired and years younger. Master Design Salon is a certified, safe service establishment. We not only care about your looks, but your health too. Master Design Salon, 5149 Wheelers Drive, 685-2351. That's Master Design Salon, 5149 Wheelers Drive, 685-2351.
One thing I really admire about Central Barbecue is their commitment to quality.
Then why do they let you do their commercials?
I'm talking about their food. Everything is prepared with devotion to taking the time and effort to create perfect barbecue.
Oh, I know. That's exactly why I was wondering why...
They're not kidding with that slow-smoked Memphis-style slogan. They smoke their pork for 14 hours. Do they have to? They do if they want to be the best barbecue in Memphis, and they are.
And yet they let you just throw together...
There's nothing better than Central Barbecue because they care.
Except apparently about their radio ads.
Upgrade your commute at Acura of Memphis. Seize the thrill and test drive one of our award-winning models, each packed with cutting-edge technology, luxurious amenities, and a driving experience that's sure to awaken your inner self. Driving shouldn't be a chore, it should be an adventure. Advance your drive today, shop our aggressive lease and finance options now, luxury is waiting at Acura of Memphis, or shop online 24/7, visit AcuraofMemphis.com.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Yo, 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 welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour on a beautiful Wednesday. I am your good buddy, Johnny Radio. Follow me at Johnny_Radio. Don't forget Gabe at G_Coon71. We're about to be joined by Russell Copeland. We got to talk some football, and I cannot wait to talk about all the good things that are going on in the world. But I also have to tell you a little bit of a tease. 2:30, what are we going to do today? Oh, Hardenwood. Gabe Coon, do you know that do you know what the world's largest dinosaur is? Well, you're wrong, because they just found him. It's a new dinosaur. There's a new type. It's huge. Yes, I got dinosaur news. I got Karl Malone getting very honest about Zion Williamson. And then you taught me about OnlyFans, Gabe. So I did a little research, like Berkshire Hathaway, how they research, when they legalize marijuana in a certain state, that they go out and buy a bunch more Coca-Cola and chips and ice cream and cookies stock. I wanted to know, because I didn't go do the research you're thinking of. I want to know how much an OnlyFan makes. I'm going to blow.
I'd imagine there's a range.
Okay, well, I'm talking about. I got the
averages.
numbers. I'm talking. Well, I got the.
You have averages?
I have the averages for the top. This is going to blow your mind. The top 1,000 OnlyFans. 1,000. Okay, this is the average for the top 1,000. It's going to mess you up. These numbers, they make me understand why they do what they do. Now, dinosaurs, all kinds of crazy stuff. Plus, don't forget Deion Sanders. He got his stolen boombox back. He's tearing it up down at Jackson State. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget Hardwood. But it's time to talk some NFL football. You got Tom Brady, the GOAT. You got Aaron Rodgers. You got the young Bucks, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. And, of course, Russell Copeland's Buffalo Bills are in the AFC Championship. How are you doing, Cope?
Man, I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Man, I'm doing blessed. I'm glad to be here. Can't complain. I'll tell you one thing. I've been looking at this game so many different ways. I've been going back and forth. The first thing that I look at is, of course, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. But you want to know one of the thing that kind of stuck out the most? Aaron Jones is the best back. But I think the most important back might be Leonard Fournette, the former LSU star. He couldn't get it done in Jacksonville. He's looked a lot better of late. But if Tampa Bay actually wants to beat up on Green Bay, does he not have to have a really good game?
Well, you know, the running game definitely is going to be a key. And I talk about it when you look at Super Bowls. It is the running game. It is the defense. Who can stop the run and who can get the run going? And when you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that's what I see with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. To me, it's not just Leonard Fournette. I think their most important weapon, and I said it all year, not Antonio Brown, not Tom Brady, not Evans. It's Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones is the key to them winning football games, running the football game. With him not being 100% healthy, yes, it's Leonard Fournette. But when you look at the success of this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, it has been the running game. Take the pressure off of Tom Brady. Let the running game get things started. Let them be able to gel in the passing game. It is the running game. If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers want to win this game, they have to go back to the blueprint. It's when they harassed Aaron Rodgers in mid-October, when they got after Aaron Rodgers and ran the football down their throats. That's going to be the key to victory. Will that be enough? I'm not sure. I'll give my picks later, but that's the blueprint.
Man, the other blueprint that I look at this one is you got to get in Aaron Rodgers' head. You got to get Aaron Rodgers, got to annoy him. Nobody probably annoys Aaron Rodgers as much as Ndamukong Suh. Ndamukong Suh's having a pretty good year, you could say. He stepped on Aaron Rodgers' ankle before. You also have JPP. There's a lot of guys on that defense that are very talented. Devin White from the linebacker, Shaq Barrett. That defense, can they put on enough pressure to actually bother Aaron Rodgers? Because right now, he looks like he's playing the game at just a different speed.
Well, they have done it before. In mid-October, when you look at Aaron Rodgers, he was looking like the MVP. He probably still is the MVP, but I think at that time they were undefeated. They went to Tampa Bay, and they harassed Aaron Rodgers. Do you look at the first couple of possessions, he throws a pick six. The next possession, he throws another interception. Now Tampa Bay is up around 21-7. And the rest of the football game, they sacked him, they chased him. They have the ingredients and the intangibles to be able to get after Aaron Rodgers. But now this is the second meeting. So you talked about the running game. Green Bay's running game will be critical to take pressure off of the MVP, who is going to be Aaron Rodgers, so he can't throw the football. I love these matchups. It's going to be cold, but I think it's going to come down to Aaron running the football. I think that's going to be the key. I think Tampa's going to get some stops. They're going to come back at it. But ultimately, it's going to be running the football, and we know how that bad man is later in the game. Aaron Rodgers will do enough to win the football game, but it's not just going to be on his shoulders. I like Tampa's defense, but they're just not going to have enough.
Ooh, you mentioned defense, and that's exactly where I'm going. They look great again when they, Bucks look great when they won 38-10. But if you look at this Baltimore, this Green Bay defense, I've absolutely killed Green Bay for their draft picks. And then you go back in there and you look at their 2019 draft class. You look at Rashawn Gary. You look at their safety that they grabbed out in the first round as well, Darnell Savage. These guys are serious playmakers. 2019 draft is a lot better. Those three guys all start and play. They could be the difference in this, but I'm wondering, as we look at the defense of Green Bay, they've been playing a lot better of late. Is Tampa Bay's defense getting a little bit overrated because of what happened last week with Todd Bowles' bunch in New Orleans? Because, 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions. Drew Brees just had the worst game ever, because I remember a week before where that defense was making Tyler Heineke look like a pretty good poor man's Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I'm not going to say that they're overrated, because Todd Bowles has had this defense to play very well. I just alluded and talked about how they got after Aaron Rodgers. It's all about matchups. It's different matchups. When you look at how they played the week before, Tampa's defense, because they were playing against a quarterback that was a mobile quarterback that they had never seen, they hadn't seen play. Mm-hmm. So now you're expecting a different quarterback, and a quarterback that you see is pretty much like what we saw when Hurts took over at Philadelphia, going against the New Orleans Saints, who had the number 1 defense at that time. It's hard to prepare for something that you haven't seen, especially the mobility standpoint. But they know Aaron Rodgers. They know where Aaron Rodgers is going to be, so they'll be prepared for it. I just think playing at home, I think the Green Bay Packers will be able to do enough offensively and defensively to win the game. But it's going to be a defensive match, and when they have the defense on the field, Preston Smith and Darius Smith, they play outstanding. They get a lot of pressure, and we know Tom Brady. Tom Brady cannot move out of the pocket. He has to deliver the football quick. But if you get him off of his 5 steps, his 7-step drop, he's not the same quarterback. They will get after Tom Brady. They're going to have to get turnovers from their defense to give him the football on the short side of the field.
Out of the NFC Championship game right now, which quarterback's going to go back to Tampa and represent the NFC? Will it be Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, or will it be Tom Brady and the Bucs?
It's going to be Aaron Rodgers, but I have to tip my cap off to Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the GOAT. We looked at how they had an up-and-down season, but this is why he came to Tampa, to a team that had not been to the Super Bowl in about 12, 13 years. He took a team back to the playoffs that had been in the playoffs since 2012. This is why he came. He has them playing outstanding football. He's leading his football team, but it will not be enough. Aaron Rodgers has to get the monkey off of his back. He's been a great quarterback, but he only has 1 chip. He was 13-3 last year. He got bounced out. He was 13-3 this year, home field advantage. I think he takes the next step, and he leads the Green Bay Packers to the Super Bowl.
If Antonio Brown was 100%, Ronald Jones was playing, would you give them a better chance? Because, coming off the MRI said there's no serious structural injury to his knee, but he's listed as day-to-day. He's banged up, and I'm talking about Antonio Brown. Him and Tom Brady have been great down the last 6 games of the year. He's finding him first in, targets, second receptions. I mean, he's been, tearing it up. But with this knee injury and the fact that you're going to have to lean more on Leonard Fournette, is that one of the reasons you're a little bit more scared, or is it just that Aaron Rodgers is that bad of a man?
I think it's a little bit of both, and I talked about Ronald Jones. But when you look at Antonio Brown did not have a whole lot of catches last week before he had his injury. It wasn't all about Tom Brady. It was about their defense. Yes, we can talk about Drew Brees did not play as well, but when you look at it, the defense has to be able to play stops to be able to stop Drew Brees. They have to be able to confuse him. They played man-to-man coverage with those wide receivers. Those wide receivers could not get out of jail. They was locked up. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense played playoff football. And I think when you look at Aaron Rodgers, I think he just has a lot. He's putting a lot of pressure on all of them. For the second time, I think he has the adjustments to be able to beat them, and he's going to run the football. And I just can't see Aaron Rodgers throwing a pick 6 and 2 interceptions on the first 2 possessions. I can't see that. I don't think he played as bad as he played the first time around. I just think he has enough to beat Tampa Bay.
All right, before I go to the AFC Championship game, I want to bring up something, a guy that you played football with, the great Jim Kelly. The reason I bring that up is Phillip Rivers is retired. Buffalo Bills are also in the AFC Championship game. I've heard from younger fans and seen that Josh Allen is the greatest quarterback ever to play at Buffalo. I'm like, whoa, man, y'all forget about Jim Kelly. Bringing up Phillip Rivers' career. I'm not comparing it. When you go to, 4 Super Bowls, it's a little bit different, I think, in my opinion. I know he didn't win one. He's not Dan Marino. Why is it that Jim Kelly doesn't get the respect he's kind of deserved? And why is it that also Phillip Rivers, I feel like, is kind of slighted because he didn't play in a Super Bowl?
Well, let's start with Jim Kelly. I think Jim Kelly does get the credit that he deserves. When you talk about great quarterbacks, it's always about the quarterbacks that win the Super Bowl. But when you look at it, when you lead a football team to 4 straight Super Bowls, then that says a lot. He and Andre Reed, they were a dynamic duo. But when you look at Josh Allen, I don't know anyone who knows football to say Josh Allen is the best quarterback in Bills history. Josh Allen just had a breakout year this year. Before this year here, Josh Allen was looked at as a bust. He was looked at someone that could not win the game, could not take a team in the fourth quarter to win a game. You look at him last year against the Texans. It was his fumbles. It was his turnovers. It was his mindset that lost the football game. This has been a breakout year for Josh Allen. We're talking about an all-time great, a Hall of Famer. There's no comparison to Josh Allen to Jim Kelly. Now, when you look at Phillip Rivers retiring, we judge quarterbacks, whether it's fair or not, upon their championships. We judge them on big games. We judge them when they play against other great quarterbacks and other great teams. And the knock on Phillip Rivers is that he hasn't been able to get the good San Diego Chargers at the time, now they're the LA Chargers, to the next level. He has not been able to do that. He has not been able to go against a Peyton Manning and win those games. He has not been able to go against a Tom Brady and win those games. He hasn't played well. That's the knock. Will he be a Hall of Famer? Absolutely. But that's the knock on Phillip Rivers. He has no chips. He has no championships win. He has not been to the Super Bowl. When you compare him to the great quarterbacks, you have to look at that.
And the thing is a lot of people, and I bring this back, and the reason I say that is a lot of people that you're right. If you watch football your whole life, and I talked about it yesterday, you can't compare Otto Graham and Johnny Unitas to Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. Different eras. We're living in an era right now where the top quarterback ratings, all 8 of the top still play today. The top 4 are still playing like this weekend. That's crazy to think about. The numbers are just totally different. Mm-hmm. And when you look at, yes, Josh Allen's quarterback rating is higher than Jim Kelly's quarterback rating, but look at the error. I mean, Matt Ryan's quarterback rating is right there next to Peyton Manning's. But are we going to sit there and say Matt Ryan was better than Peyton Manning? I don't think so.
I think, John, you have to look at the eye test. Sometimes stats can be misleading. I look at the game last week, and since we're talking about quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson, to me, takes more criticism than any quarterback in the NFL. Maybe more quarterbacks that I've seen in his first 4 years probably in history. But we're talking about Josh Allen, and we're talking about comparing him to Jim Kelly. Look at that football game. Josh Allen didn't have a great game. Josh Allen didn't throw the football all over the yard. Yes, he threw it for a lot of attempts, but his touchdown was a 2-yard pass to Stephon Diggs. When you look at it, it's 3-3 at halftime. It's not like that he was going up and down the field against that. He did not have a great game. He was the quarterback that won a game with the benefit of the defense. It's 3-3. Lamar Jackson does not throw that interception for a pick six. It's 10-10. Now it's 17-3, and Josh Allen did not score any more points from that point on. So I rest my case. Jim Kelly was a big-time player. He played in big-time games, and in big-time moments, you know that you could depend on him. Josh Allen needs to play a whole lot of more years than even to try to compare him and put him in the same class as Jim Kelly.
And I'll tell you another thing. We got to start looking at the quarterback rating system, because when Matt Schaub and Nick Foles have a better career rating than Dan Marino and Brett Favre, we're not adding up the totals on the right way, if you know what I'm saying. Now, I got to get to you this, Russell, because this is the Buffalo Bills. They're in the AFC Championship. It has been a long time. This is awesome. They're right there away from the Super Bowl. What gives Buffalo the best chance of playing in Super Sunday? Is it the fact that Patrick Mahomes is a little banged up, he has an issue with the concussion, he has the toe, or is it the fact that Buffalo right now is one of the hottest teams going?
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes will be ready to go from a concussion. I think he'll be ready to go from his leg standpoint. We watched him last year come back from a knee injury that was almost going to end his season, and he came back within 3 weeks, and he still was the Patrick Mahomes that we know about. It's going to be the Buffalo Bills playing great defense and being able to have some balance. I looked at the game last week, and I said, man, what are they doing? They didn't have maybe but 1 or 2 runs at halftime. Josh Allen is going to have to play like he has played the MVP type. He's going to have to play like that. But they cannot get into a shootout, okay? They're going to have to be able to do some short passes. They're going to have to be able to protect the football. But more importantly, he's going to have to rely on his defense. His defense is going to have to be able to come up with some turnovers and come up with some critical stops to give him the football on the short side of the field. That's what it's going to come down to. It's not going to come down to Josh Allen throwing for 400 or 500 yards. If he throws the football as many times as he did last week, they'll get ran out of the stadium. Man. He's going to have to he'll get ran out of the stadium, okay? They were able to get away with it because Lamar Jackson does not throw the football, but he still was not completing big passes when he really, truly needed them. The score was 3-3. That shows that. In order for them to win the game, it's going to be defense, and they're going to have to get something out of the running game. Patrick Mahomes and that offense, they don't have to play perfect, okay? They don't have to play perfect, but they have more weapons offensively than the Bills got. And when you look at the Bills, you're like, hey, this is a 13-3 team. But let's look at the Kansas City Chiefs, man. They got Pro Bowlers at every offensive position, skill position.
And plus the Honey Badger on defense, I don't know how he does it. He just comes up big in big games. He's always around the ball. He always comes up with a turnover.
Absolutely.
He makes one of the, I mean, he's Kansas City's, like, he's their defensive medication.
Absolutely. He is the heart and soul. He's the heartbeat of this football team. And I think what's underrated for me, for the Kansas City Chiefs last year for their Super Bowl and the Super Bowl game, it was them running the football. Patrick Mahomes for 3.5 quarters had probably the worst 3.5 quarters of his career. But that defense made critical stops, gave the football back to him, and he was able to do what Patrick Mahomes does. You give him enough opportunities and chances, he'll win the game. I just think they're probably too talented overall, and their defense is underrated. I love my Buffalo Bills. I think they have a fighting chance. But I just think in the end, Patrick Mahomes and that offense is just going to be a little bit too much.
Russell Copeland played wide receiver at Memphis, Buffalo, also played in Green Bay and Philly. Man, it's kind of weird. You got Green Bay and Buffalo in this bad boy. They could meet in the Super Bowl. Who knows? Right now, it'll be very wild. But I got to ask you a weird question. You're a wide receiver. Me and Gabe kind of argued this the other day. Do you like Stephon Diggs better, or do you like Tyreek Hill? Which guy are you picking?
Well, for an overall receiver, it's Diggs because he can do so many different things. I mean, from a wide receiver standpoint, but speed kills. When you put Tyreek Hill with the other weapons that he has, and he has probably the best quarterback in the league, you say it's Tyreek Hill. But you can put Stephon Diggs in that offense, and he can put up many numbers. You can put him in anywhere, and he can run every route of the route tree. I like Stephon Diggs for a complete receiver, but, man, when you're running a 4-2 and a 4-3, it just does different to the defense. But as a better overall complete receiver, it's Diggs.
Is Josh Allen going to is this year more of is this more of just it's a freak season? A Nick Foles caught lightning, a Matt Schaub had a good year, or is Josh Allen going to be the real deal Holyfield going forward? And him and Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, are they going to be the face of the league?
Well, I think with Josh Allen, he has great continuity with his offensive coordinator. I think he has meshed very well, and the Bills have done an outstanding job of putting the pieces around him. We talked about Diggs, and what you have there, you have the quarterback that you drafted. You have a base for him to be able to produce, and that's what you see now. If he loses his offensive coordinator and his coordinator goes, then I think that will be a big, huge loss for him. But he is playing outstanding. I don't think it's a freakish of the year. He's playing great. He has everything that he needs around him to be able to succeed. I just want to see them run the football more to take more pressure off him. But this isn't a fluke year for him. What you see is what you get. He has a strong arm. He's tough. He's mentally tough. He's gotten better from year 1, 2, and now this is his 4th year. He's definitely deserves what he has been getting.
Chiefs line is creeping up. They're a 3-point favorite at home. It looks like Patrick Mahomes is probably going to be able to go. Most people were thinking he was definitely going to play in this game. I would be shocked if he didn't play Sunday. Now, who do you got?
Well, my heart says Buffalo, and I want Buffalo to go. The last time the Kansas City played against Buffalo in the championship game, it was my rookie year going against Joe Montana. Bruce Smith was able to hit Joe Montana, take him out of the game. We win the game, go to the Super Bowl my first year. I love it, but I got Kansas City. I just think overall they have too many offensive firepower to go against the Bills' defense.
I'm with you, actually. When you got Superman, you got Hill, McCole Hardman, you got everybody and their grandmother out there doing things. I mean, we talk about the weapons that Tom Brady has. Well, he's got the weapons in Kansas City. Plus, he's also, basically, he's playing as good a football as anybody. Only right now, probably Aaron Rodgers is playing the position a little bit better. I like Kansas City as well. Looks like we're going to see a little Kansas City and a little Aaron Rodgers. That will be an interesting Super Bowl. We'll talk more about that next week. But, man, I got to ask you a question. What do you got going on in the world right now? I know you're working on something. You want to tell the people what's going on with this Sun Life Nutrition?
Well, definitely. I played in the National Football League for 6 years, and so I believe in nutrition. I believe in eating, taking care of your body. And, I've been working with Herbalife, and I have a location that I'm working with that's located in South Haven. The telephone number is 662-510-2923. It's Sun Life Nutrition. But what it is it's a lot of vitamins, it's a lot of minerals, it's a lot of minerals and vitamins that you can take naturally. And one specific thing is a loaded tea. It's a drink type. It's a loaded tea. So if you come into the location, just ask for a loaded tea. It's so many different flavors that you can get in. And what it has in it, Johnny, it's green, black, It's a different tea for energy, for metabolism boost. It has some ginseng. It has some guarana for your energy, your focus, and your mental alertness. Also, there's a beauty booster for the young ladies you can take. And it has all of the things in that can help your skin elastically, your healthy skin, your fine lines, your wrinkles. It supports your strong nails. So just come in, and if you come into the store, as I mentioned, it's located on Airways. Just come in and ask for Kiera Mosby and Sabrina Allen. Come into the store, give me a call at 901-604-3738, and then I can help and I can give you that location for you to come in and just talk to these young ladies. But I'm all about nutrition. And, Johnny, especially today with COVID-19,
got to keep your immune system up, man. You got to keep going. You got to keep your body healthy. And by the way, you only got one life to live. You want to, you don't want to put cheap gas in your car, do you? You want to, make sure your body's right.
Absolutely, man. And like right now, this is what you need, and you can come into this store here. The young ladies will show you how to mix it up and make it at your home. You can be able to order it for yourself, but they will show you how to mix it up. They will mix it up in front of you, and you can be able to get the slushes. You can also be able to get these teas that I'm talking about. You also can get some H3Os for the young athletes out here to help replenish your body and get it back. But I'm going to give you the address again, Johnny. It's 8936 Airways Boulevard, Suite 4, South Haven, Mississippi. It's all for Airways. Just come in and ask for Kiera Mosby and Sabrina Allen, and they can lead you through this. I've been taking it. I've been doing it now for the past 2 months. I've lost 20 pounds. I feel great. I feel excellent, man. Just taking a lot of these supplements, man, is really good, and it's all natural. It's through Herbalife, but the name of the building is Sun Life Nutrition. Come in and ask for Kiera Mosby and Sabrina Allen.
I'll tell you one thing. If you've lost 20 pounds and you were looking good last time I saw you, you must be looking back into your playing days. I can't wait to see you. Sun Life Nutrition. I'm going to check it out. 8936 Airways, Suite number 4 in South Haven, Mississippi. As for Kiera, as for Sabrina, two lovely ladies who can mix you up a tea, can make you a shake, get you exactly what you want. By the way, don't forget to bring your girlfriends. Did you hear what he said? You can also get your immune system built up, also for nails, hair fall, like your hair growing, all kinds of things. Nutrition, supplements, Sun Life, 8936 Airways. Russell, I appreciate you joining me. I can't wait to watch the Bucks and the Packers at 1 o'clock and then follow that up with the Bills and the Chiefs. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you next Wednesday, my friend.
Thank you, man.
That's my buddy, Russell Copeland. Now, I got to also tell you this. On Hardwood, it is going to be hilarious. What's the biggest dinosaur in the world? We're going to let Johnny try to say the name. It's going to be interesting. I'm not very good at reading.
But we do have breaking news.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you saw this, John. But the Portland-Memphis game, Trailblazers versus Grizzlies, has been postponed. That's 2 of the last 4 games being postponed now for the Grizzlies.
Dadgummit. And I was looking forward to that bad boy.
So, according to Woj, she actually just put this out about a minute ago, the contact tracing that is making the game postponed is actually focused on the Grizzlies side, so that's something they're going to have to get a hold on.
Grizzlies are going to have to start looking at some things. By the way, that's the second game in the NBA now postponed because the Wizards and Hornets, they were postponed earlier in the day or the week or whatever. I just knew they were postponed as well. Now Grizzlies, Portland postponed tonight. But don't forget, Kyrie, he returns, yes, to play with James Harden, Kevin Durant, as the Brooklyn Nets face Cleveland at 6 o'clock tonight. We'll be back with Hardwood, but remember, if you want to look good, where do you go? Frontier Western Store. Why? Because that's where all the Carhartts, that's where all the boots, that's where the jeans, that's where the women's wear, the women's boutique, kids, that's where everything is. Or you can just go, like you said, you're COVID-19, you want it shipped within 24 hours. Go to frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967. Think about that. They've been balling and shot calling longer than I've been alive. Go get your jeans. Go get your boots, your dress boots, your super tough work boots, the boots for winter. And don't forget, ladies, their boutique department. Frontier Western Store, it's simply the best. We'll be back in 2 shakes with a little bit of Hardwood on Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
You have opinions?
I think they got a lot of athletic ability.
We want to hear them.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you.
Call us on the First Bank phone line at 360-8255 or text us on the First Bank text line at 67129.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Fiveash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Fiveash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing is what we do. We're here for you.
For over 8 decades, America's farmers have counted on the Little Red Tractor from Case IH, the Farmall, to help them make short work of their demanding chores. Well, Mid-South Ag can show you they aren't just for farms anymore. With horsepower ranging from 30 to 105, plus an army of attachments, they can tackle every chore on your to-do list, from hauling and mowing to loading and towing and then some. Stop by Mid-South Ag Equipment or call 662-890-3141 to find a Case IH Farmall that's right for you.
Sunday, it's the championship round of the NFL playoffs as we bring you a special doubleheader. Hi, this is Scott Graham. Join me and the rest of our Westwood One crew for all the action. First, Tom Brady duels Aaron Rodgers as the Bucs take on the Packers in the NFC title game. Then it's the top 2 seeds in the AFC when the Kansas City Chiefs host the Buffalo Bills. Hear the playoff picture unfold right here.
Catch the NFL playoffs on Sports 56, 96.1, and 98.5.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Yo, welcome back into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your good buddy, Johnny Radio. Gabe Kuhn is in the house, by the way. This hour is brought to you by who? Who do you think? Tito's Vodka, baby. Tito's Vodka, it's simply the best. How do I know? Because that's what I drink. When I go to the liquor store, when I go to my bar, when I go to my local watering hole, when life hands me lemons, I make a lemon drop. I just make sure it's with Tito's. Tito's. It is distilled right here in the United States. When I say it's distilled, it literally is distilled. It is distilled in copper pot. It's a classic copper pot method that nobody else uses. It's a very rare thing on the vodka scene. That's why it's one of the top 10 vodkas in the world. And also the number 1 selling vodka this year in the United States. Why? It's priced right. It tastes great. By the way, why? Because of the still method and the fact that it's just beautiful and done well. It's got hints of a black pepper note, but it's also slightly sweet, which balances every single thing out, whether you're just drinking that bad boy neat or you're crafting yourself a cocktail, maybe a martini, or you're going 420 Dogface, who's been vibing all day. By the way, 420 Dogface, has anybody made it this far in life from one video? He was at the inauguration. Did you know that? Dude has gotten rich, got a house, got a car, all for drinking cranberry juice and lip-syncing Fleetwood Mac. Man, life is weird, isn't it? Somebody's also going to become a billionaire. You can buy a lot of Tito's because Tito's is priced right. Tito's is simply the best. Remember, when life hands you lemons, make a lemon drop. Just make sure it's with Tito's. Let's go to Hardinwood.
This is Access Hardinwood.
Well,
hey, real quick, remind the people what just happened. Grizzlies are postponed tonight.
Yeah,
against
postponed,
the Trailblazers.
Sorry.
Have to mention
always.
it if you're just now joining us. This is 2 of
on
the last
Grizzly
4
side
now that have been canceled there for the Grizzlies. It is due to contact tracing. From the Grizzlies side.
Is your tooth hurting?
It is 2:30.
It is 2:30. And by the way, do you know, a week from today, I cannot wait. I'm having surgery. Oh, thank you. Speaking
They
of
have
being
put that off for a while, man.
Dude, COVID. I was supposed to have it out the 15th, man. And then COVID. Deadgummit. Speaking of contract tracings, that was a perfect segue from the Grizzlies. But you know what I got to bring up? Do you know who Makua Rotman is?
I don't.
Me neither, until I watched this 100-foot world record video. She's a pro surfer, or he's a pro surfer. I don't know, because I cannot tell the sex by the name or by the video, because the video, it looks like there's an ant on a surfboard, and there's the huge wave. Like, it looks CGI. It doesn't even look real. I had to check it out to see if this was real. But no, she dropped in on a wall of water that was over 100 feet tall. He or she, and guess what? They survived. Now, it is the record holder. The previous record that the previous record that they had done was 66 feet. I'm going to just ask you a question. Why would you try something that if you did wreck, you would die? Is that an adrenaline thing?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why they have extreme sports.
Well, I mean, I like jumping out of airplane, but I got a lot better chance of surviving than going down a 100-foot wave.
Well, you ever seen the dudes that ski and snowboard down like the jagged mountains, like the Alps?
Actually,
the
no.
You've never seen that?
Dude,
extreme sports.
Yeah, I've seen some of that. Yeah,
there's
no,
always there is always the thought that you could pass if you do something wrong, if something goes wrong.
Dude, all I know is this video will give you anxiety. Just so you know, it will definitely give you anxiety. Now I got to bring this up. I brought it up yesterday. Deion Sanders. It felt to me also like this was kind of orchestrated and staged. It really did. But now it's been a day and it's all gone. And the reason I felt it was kind of orchestrated and staged was the way that Deion Sanders put out, hey, I don't care about my just please bring back my beatbox to me. That'd be great, blah, blah, blah. Comes out and says all this thing. He's like, I love y'all, and I believe in y'all. Y'all gonna prove me right. I bet on y'all, and y'all came through. I love y'all, and I love especially the hood. And, goes out there and talks all this stuff. It felt kind of like a promotions thing for, his HBCU college. They were having a great recruiting class. He's getting all kinds of pub down there. He brings up this message that his beatbox happened to be returned with him, and there was a message. Did you see the message that was written? Handwritten message?
I didn't.
Oh, it's hilarious. He says, hey, man, sorry about that. Didn't know. I ain't tripping. Just bring back Jackson State. A winning season would be great. Just bring back Jackson State. A winning season would be great. Does that not sound like something Deion Sanders would almost kind of scratch down and say, I just got back my boombox? No, it really did happen. It seems like he's doing really well. He got this big red thing back. It was a friend of his. But I don't know, man. He can make news out of nothing. Can he not?
He can.
Primetime is, dude, he's going to tear it up down there. Now, I meant to ask you this earlier. What's the biggest dinosaur that you know of?
A T-Rex or the ones that swam.
What about a brontosaurus, man?
What are those?
They're big.
No, but like what kind are they? Could you
They're like
describe
really,
them?
yeah, they like eating trees. And
Yeah,
they're really
those,
long.
the big long neck ones.
It's the
Yeah.
one that the Flintstones would slide down the back of. That's
so
a
yeah,
brontosaurus.
okay, then I would say the brontosaurus.
See, that's what I would say too, but now it's not, because guess what? Holy cow. There is a dinosaur fossil that has just been found in Argentina. This bad boy is 98 million years old. They call it a Titanosaurus. Now, why do they call it that? Because it is the largest now dinosaur they've ever found with a backbone with a staggering 122-foot backbone. Bro, 122 feet? This is its back.
So is it like a dinosaur species that they did not know of before?
They did not know of.
Interesting.
They think his average
This
was from
thing's going to a
130
museum
100.
real soon.
Oh yeah, dude. Experts, this is a big deal, man. They just found a new dinosaur, man. It was 100 million years old. Kind of dig it.
Titanosaurus?
Titanosaurus.
Cool
By the way,
name.
it's also
That's a cool
the
name.
heaviest. It comes in weighing at an estimated over 40 tons. How much cabbage you got to eat?
That's estimated though. How do they know that?
Well, I mean, I guess if
They
you're just
don't
going to
know
throw
that.
a little skin on the, I mean, dude, when the bones are bigger than
They don't know if
this room.
if this thing like to eat a lot. That Titanosaurus could have been a hungry person.
Dude,
hungry person,
No,
hungry
no.
dinosaur.
It definitely had.
or it could be real skinny. Who knows?
Well,
How do you know it's 40
okay.
tons?
I'm sorry.
Science sometimes.
Okay, science says on the
gotta explain
on the
these
conservative side, it's 40 tons.
On the conservative side.
On the larger side, they believe they could exceed 80 tons. So we're talking about like this.
So
is
40 is the low side.
40 is the low. 80 is the high.
Does 40 exceed like a
130
normal
feet's the low.
T-Rex?
150 feet is the long.
Estimated weight?
Dude, I think this thing is gonna smack a T-Rex. Like, how big is a T-Rex?
Well,
Google. I bet a
don't
T-Rex
got
is little.
short arms.
He's got little short arms and a
That's
big old
tough.
head. It's kind of like my dogs. They got little legs and big old head. But anyway, I had to bring that up because that kind of messed up my head. Now, did you hear what Karl Malone said about Zion Williamson?
Sure did.
Holy cow. You know, Anthony Sane in the morning show with Peter Edmiston basically has come out and said Zion Williamson will not make the Pelicans better, all this stuff. And I honestly thought Anthony Sane was crazy. But guess what? Since Zion's come back this season, in the last 5 games that he's played in, how many games have they won? 1-4, and I think they lost last night, so it might be 1-5 now. But Karl Malone came out and says, listen, I love Zion Williamson. We might not even know this man's full potential. There are young men who played at LSU. Glenn Big Baby Davis. Big Baby made, comments, 8 months ago, blah, blah, blah. They go on this whole diatribe about because this kid is so young and because the game has changed so much that his skill set will never work in this NBA. Do you agree with Karl Malone, one of the greatest power forwards of all time, saying that the power forward position is somewhat dying in the NBA and an undersized power forward like Zion Williamson cannot be utilized in today's basketball?
That would make sense if Zion wasn't averaging like 24 points a game.
He says that just because he's averaging 22.6 points, 8.3 rebounds, he's saying that he still will not be able to be the focal point or the reason that the Pelicans get over the hump. Do you agree or disagree? I don't know. I mean, he's Karl Malone.
I mean, they have other pieces. I guess they got Lonzo Ball. They have Brandon Ingram. Certainly think Zion helps put him over the hump, so to speak.
He also did say one thing that I wasn't really going to say. He said also if Zion Williamson doesn't get in shape, he'll never reach his full potential. Karl Malone always comes off the top rope, doesn't he? He just don't hold anything back. By the way, I could bring up some really bad things about Karl Malone. I'm going to be kind and not. But I do have to switch gears to OnlyFans. This freaked me out, Gabe Coon. I just saw this today. It just popped across my Twitter. I think there's an algorithm because we were talking about it the other day. And then all of a sudden, I get news. So guess what? The top 1,000 OnlyFans, what do you think they make a month on average?
Well into the thousands. Let me guess.
Well into
10,000.
thousands.
10,000.
200,000 per month.
Oh my gosh.
$200,000 per.
Are there any names we know on this list?
Do you know Lindsay Capiano or Christina? These are 2 of the top ones.
Wait, Christina, no last name, just Christina.
It says Christina. She is she believes in her faith. She's from Connecticut, and she loves taking her clothes off for anonymous strangers for money. That's really what it says. So I'm just reading from that. I'm just reading it. Okay. I don't know if I would want to put my faith on there at the top of the OnlyFans.
Love Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? Like I do too.
Jesus lover.
But like I don't know, man. But hey, I can. If you're donating to the church, again, that's where a Kyrie comes in. You can be philanthropic, but you can still be selfish. Just because you do good doesn't mean you're always good.
You're telling me at the top of her OnlyFans account it says follower of Christ.
Yes.
And then she has a bunch of naked pictures right under it in videos. That's something. That is something. They're making money though. I see.
Money?
Good Lord.
Holmes, I was upset about okay. This is what she said. This is also, I'm going to go to the girl who said, who has Connecticut model, Christian, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to talk about her, okay? It says, I'm sorry, I can't do anything in this world where by sitting down for 20 minutes, I can make $2,000 to $3,000 a day. Gotta say, I mean, it's not like this is the old days. She's not working in the red light district in Amsterdam. I mean, she's just in her house.
This makes me think, though, there are probably a lot more people subscribed to this thing than we originally thought. There's a lot of subscribers. If these people are making $200,000 a month.
2.4 million people click on her page on average a day. That kind of messes me up. Like 2.4 million. No offense, I am never paying for anything.
This makes me think that, like,
am I just cheap? Even for
who
research.
is subscribing to this?
She has 2.
This is a lot of people.
This is a lot of people. Well, you know what? There's like how many billions of people in the world? I mean, it is the internet. It's not just for the United States. It's for the world.
No, granted, I get that.
But
that's a lot of people.
This kind of messes me up. Do you know who the richest athlete of all time in history of the world was? I don't know how to say his name. I was hoping you knew it. Gaius Apelius Diosis. Nobody's ever heard of his name. I've never even heard of him. But do you want to know that this dude, do you know chariot racing back in the day? In the Romans? You know how I brought up the Romans? Thank you very much. Somebody sent me, because I said, if the Roman army fought the United States
This is a chariot racer?
Dude, hold on. This is the richest dude in the world. He could have he made so much gold that he could have bought the entire Roman army and paid 1,430 some odd whatever. This is where most people die, like after a couple races. He raced in 1,462. No, he had 1,462 wins in a 24-year career. Where the average
did he
person,
eventually die from chariot racing?
He did eventually die, of course.
From what?
He had a wreck and it got mangled like everybody else.
No way.
But he had a long career. But when he died, he had more gold, 26,000 kilograms of raw gold, which would be right now, right this minute, $12.7 billion, making him the richest athlete of all time. I just gave you a little history, didn't I? Gave you dinosaur facts, and I taught you about OnlyFans. Plus, Karl Malone is still ornery. You think if Utah would have ever gotten a championship over Chicago Bulls and beat MJ, he could have hit some of those free throws? Do you think Karl Malone would still be as ornery as he is?
Can I say this, though? I'm tired of old heads talking about guys not playing enough minutes. Because there's a reason these old heads were out of the league quick.
Because they played too many minutes?
Because they played way too many minutes. They're getting injured.
Karl Malone also said,
do
you agree that Karl Malone with him? Because Karl Malone was chiseled. Karl Malone says if Zion Williamson got himself in shape, he would be much better. Do you think Zion, when you look at him, do you think of him as out of shape?
Not really, but a lot of people do.
Interesting. It's not something I think of. But anyway,
he has been, generally speaking, he's been on somewhat of a minutes restriction his whole entire, year and a half career here. So
yeah, that is true. Well, anyway.
He must not be fully in shape.
If you want to move to New Orleans and watch Zion, guess what? 901-406-1101. If you want to move out to Utah and hang out with Karl Malone, 901-406-1101. Any house, any area as is. If it's time for you to get up and out, or if you just want to move it on up, or maybe if you're moving on down and you don't want the bank to foreclose. Like I said, any situation, any house, any area as is. It's as simple as that. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. We'll be back in 2 Shakes, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
It's free furnace time. Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. Are you considering replacing your air conditioning system this spring? January is one of our slowest months of the year. Our warehouse is full and our crews are slow. So to spark business during these cold winter months, Conway Services is giving away Carrier 80% gas furnaces absolutely free with the purchase of a standard Carrier air conditioning system. That's right, purchase a Carrier air conditioning system in the month of January and get a gas furnace absolutely free. If that's not enough, we'll include an April air cleaner, a 10-year parts warranty, and a free Nest thermostat. That's up up to $2,000 in savings. Plus, get your new system for as low as $139 per month or 12 months interest-free. Now, you can do that. And you know with Conway Services, you'll be receiving our award-winning service every time. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company at 384-3511. And the first 30 callers with a 10-year-old system will come out and inspect it absolutely free.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
When you think about Memphis-style hot wings, you better be thinking about Crumpy's Hot Wings, because they're made from the freshest ingredients and always deliver that mouth-watering taste that you expect from your hot wings. Now you can visit their new location at 420 South Germantown Parkway. You can also call them at 901-207-1273 and see for yourself why Crumpy's is simply the best. Ask for the Sports 6 Special, which is 20 pieces of whole wings, large fries, and 4 drinks at just $38 for your family or group gatherings. Crumpy's Hot Wings, simply the best.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at lawnsolutionsinc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Welcome back to the last little segment on a Wednesday. Got Thursday and Friday, and then we got some serious football on Sunday. Bucks, Packers, Bills, and the Chiefs. But tonight, on Wednesday, Kyrie returns to the Brooklyn Nets to join up with James Harden and Kevin Durant. It's in Cleveland. It's at 6 o'clock. It's going to be awesome. At 9 o'clock, we were going to watch the Grizzlies. I was fired up playing Portland. Not so fast, my friends. 2 games in the NBA have now been postponed, as Washington and Charlotte and Memphis are both postponed today. The Grizzlies side, due to contact tracing, are not going to be able to play in the Trailblazers game tonight. So the postponement of the Grizzlies Trailblazers is in full effect, but at 6 o'clock, Nets Cavaliers. Now, Gabe Kuhn, been kind of holding this one a little bit tight, wondering a little something. Why is it that all of a sudden 2 Tigers, not just one, Obinna left? Obinna, as in he left the Tigers and he went to TCU to join up with Gary Patterson. Okay, I can see that. One dude goes to TCU, I get it. But then when another Tiger and TJ Carter joins him, I'm kind of like going, what? Like, hold on, 2 Tigers now join TCU? Like, that for me is just a little bit interesting, a little bit weird, as both of them now are going to be Horned Frogs Is there anything weird to you in this, or is it just a quinky dink?
So I talked to Obina actually the other day, texted back and forth with him. He said it was just a coincidence. That's what he said. But both those guys are from Nashville, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Nashville connection on the staff there. I couldn't find it.
It's close to Knoxville's McDonald's.
You would go there right now. But also, I do have to mention a couple more guys from the Tigers team in the transfer portal. Cameron Wilson played a little bit at tight end. It was more of their blocking style tight end, is in the transfer portal as of yesterday evening. And also this morning, Carlito Gonzalez, who was a bounce back from Auburn, who had been there. I believe he was a senior last year, has the one more year to play. He has gotten into the transfer portal. He played safety.
Oh, all kinds of stuff in this world going down. One thing I got to tell you, if you haven't thought about your roof in a while, guess what? I got somebody for you. It's Brian Elder Roofing Solutions. And let me tell you something. You don't want to wait. Look at your house. Look at all your beautiful stuff in there. Do you know what water does to nice things? It destroys it. Water damage is the worst thing that can ever happen. It starts when your roof gets a little bit damaged. Have you had storms come through? Absolutely, if you live in this area. If you haven't thought about your roof in a while, do me a favor. Call Brian Elder Roofing Solutions at 901-867-0303. That's 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing Solutions. That's BrianElderRoofingSolutions.com as well. 867-0303. Don't let your roof destroy your home. Call my buddy Brian. He'll take care of you today.
Great news out of the NFL.
Uh-oh.
Breaking news.
What
Patrick Mahomes. Good thing for Chiefs Kingdom right here. Patrick Mahomes was a full participant in practice today, according to Ian Rappaport, which is obviously just one of the positive steps through the NFL's concussion protocol. And also they did list him with a toe, but again, full participant for Patrick Mahomes in practice today.
Interesting. Do you want to know something else that's interesting? Did you watch any of the pardons? Do you know Brian Urlacher?
Brian Urlacher.
You know his brother, Casey Urlacher?
Oh, I didn't know it was. Did he get pardoned?
Donald Trump pardoned his brother, Casey Urlacher.
Also, did you know that he ended up pardoning Dwayne Michael Carter Jr. and Bill Capri? Do you know who those are?
Michael Carter Jr. and who?
Dwayne Michael Carter Jr. and Bill Capri. Do you know who they are?
Isn't Michael Carter Jr. Lil Wayne?
Yeah, Dwayne Michael Carter Jr.
Don't play no games with me. Try to get the one over
Trump
on me.
has commuted the sentence of Lil Wayne and Bill Capri. You probably don't know who this is, but Kodak Black, another rapper, has been pardoned.
Now, this is kind of crazy. You didn't know this, but Brian Urlacher's brother, do you know what he was in trouble for? He's 41 years old. He was charged last February, and he pled not guilty. He was facing sentencing coming up. He was getting ready to go for trial in a multi-million-dollar illegal offshore gambling ring. So Casey Urlacher been pardoned. Do you think Joe Exotic is ticked off? Because that's the one dude that I did not see on the list. Joe Exotic is still locked up.
Why should he be on the list?
No, I'm just saying.
This is what everybody was calling for that. I'm like, why would you put Joe Exotic, who genuinely did try to get someone murdered?
Yeah. I think honestly,
why would you pardon that man?
I knew he wouldn't pardon him because he didn't want. Because I think didn't they get higher ratings than The Apprentice?
And there were also other people like if President Trump pardons Joe Exotic and does not pardon me, there's going to be some hell to pay. There's
funny.
Genuinely people that are innocent out there that need to be pardoned.
Now, the last thing I'm going to ask about the pardoning is though, did you have any clue about Brian Urlacher and his brother?
No idea.
How did that one slip by me? How did that's bothering me crazy? Like, this is something, a multi-million-dollar gambling ring, Brian Urlacher's brother, Casey Urlacher, and I've never had this on Hardwood until I find out he got pardoned. I'm kind of disappointed in myself. Also disappointed in boxing. Jake Paul, you're an embarrassment. Continuing to talk. The sweet science is gone down, but the UFC has replaced it. Conor McGregor is fighting this weekend on Fight Island. Are you fired up to see him and Dustin Poirier fight?
I am excited, and I know that it'll be one of the biggest pay-per-view bought fights in the history of the UFC. Also, did you see they had a card today?
Oh, yeah. When I woke up this
Yeah.
morning, it was already on. It's crazy. Speaking of crazy, get to Taqueria Express number 6, 6290 Winchester Road. That's right. Call them at 901-800-2737, 901-800-2737. Put in an order, pick it up to go. Go through their drive-thru. It's that quick, or dine in. They got a full bar. But they got 99-cent chicken tacos. They have the best burritos, the best tamales, the best wings, the best everything you can think of. Taqueria Express number 6. It's number 1 in my heart, I can promise you that. For Gabe, I'm John. Coming up next, Wolo and Stats. Do me a favor, get out there, make the world a better place. We'll see you on the flip side. Peace.